What is up? Today we're going to be reacting to top 20 best anime fights of 2023. Now, if you guys don't know, I'm a bit of an anime person myself. I dive into like Attack on Titans, Naruto, Black Lagoon, Jujutsu Kaisen. Yeah, and some of these I might not know, so don't go attack me in the comments. Please, do not go attack me in the comments. And also, we're about the end of 2023. Not really the end, but close to the end. Hey, shout out to VennyTube. I hope I said that right. Okay. Sword play.
If you're like me, then most of your favorite anime are
that wasn't even the start of the video.
Adventures, and in some places, even a pinch of humor. But wait. Let me ask you, which of the anime fight scenes in 2023 do you like the most? From one of the best last stands in anime to a climactic fight scene that would define an entire
series. I say, see, because I also watch Chainsaw Man, I'd say probably, yeah, the fight with Denji and the other guy who turns into some type of like sword thing on his head. Well, if you know, you know.
Series. In this video, we're counting down the top 20 anime fights of 2023 so far. First up on our list is Hanji's battle with the Rumbling Titans in Attack on Titan Season 4, Part 3. This scene was a fitting end for one of the bravest and smartest in the series. Even though the Colossal Titans were so massive that they made battleships look like toys, Hanji didn't feel any fear and was ready to confront them. Her battle with the Colossal Titans might be one of the saddest moments in the series. And not only that, it helped in her character development, as before she was a curious researcher and now she's become a brave and dependable leader. Despite losing a life and failing to stop Rumbling,
not gonna lie, she was kind of a nerd.
Escape. When she was out of Thunder Spears, she used her swords up until her gear blew up. The animation, the soundtrack, and the atmosphere of the moment made it all a fight to remember. And even before the fight, Levi gave her the best farewell. She was amazed the whole time and stuck to her character, dying in a blaze of glory.
Oh, come on, bro. Really? Add... Whoa!
Next on our list is an anime that has a really long title. Anice versus Algard in the magical revolution of the reincarnated princess and the genius young lady. Now, this one was a fight between siblings who had different beliefs and suffered abuse that made a significant impact on their lives. Both Anice and Algard are exceptionally talented fighters, but it was back and forth and not one of them seems to have the upper hand. This fight was full of dynamic action and strong emotions. Algard's ice magic was beautiful to see, and Anice with her sword was as deadly as an assassin. She even managed to deal first blood. I personally didn't expect to see a battle like this in this kind of anime. I thought it was just another slice of life isekai. The animation was on par with Fate, and the way Algard accepted his death at the end was completely unexpected. Even if both of them lived, the moment was so impactful that we couldn't help but be immersed in it.
Yeah,
moving on, we have Kenji versus Techo in Bungo Stray Dogs.
Ooh.
This fight couldn't be even more satisfying as two evenly matched fighters give their best to win. Even though Kenji looks like a farmer, who he is, he's actually really strong and somewhat too innocent. What's amazing is that even when he was stabbed, he was able to bend Techo's sword. This was a battle of raw strength, and even if he was one of the more physically gifted in the detective agency, Kenji was losing it. But that was until he was awakened. Kenji turned into an even deadlier beast, and even Techo's punches weren't enough to knock him down anymore. The animation wasn't god level, but it was good enough that it helped make the fight scene, especially Kenji's attack, feel as if
like after you die, you power straight back up.
Even if it was a brief fight, it didn't feel rushed, and it still kept that intense and exciting atmosphere. In the end, though, they became friends, because if a strong man meets another strong man, it equals friendship.
They both worn out.
But Blasting their way into number 17 is the battle between Guel and Shadik in Gundam, The Witch from Mercury. Now, The Witch from Mercury is one of the newest series that have come out from the franchise, and even when the whole plot revolves around the two main characters, they give some of the side characters some interesting moments. The best one being this. Guel is a hard-nosed Spacian, while Shadik is from the influential Earthian family, which operates under the Benerit group. They were bound to fight one another because of their affiliations, and it was a good thing they did. Unlike other fights in space where they just point and shoot, the fight choreography between these two used the environment to their advantage, making it even more realistic. What Witch from Mercury does that's better than other Gundam series is the way it uses the lighting and the effects in space. It was just glorious to see, and even if it ended in a draw, Guel managed to decommission Shadik and another mobile suit user in a 2 versus 1.
Damn.
Do you ever want to watch an anime after watching a top 20 list like this one and you suddenly find that it isn't available in your country? Well, it really feels like you're flying a Gundam, but you can only fly and not shoot. So why did you even have one in the first place? I know that sounds crazy, but that's what streaming companies like Netflix do, because you only get to watch shows that are available in your country, which is only a fraction of their content library.
Yeah, because some animes, like, they're not available
our sponsors,
in our country,
ExpressVPN,
America.
is like having access to every feature your Gundam has, including that sick and awesome transformation that makes it super strong. You can bypass those pesky restrictions and finally get your hands on their entire anime catalogue. I've personally been using it to watch the new Jujutsu Kaisen season on Netflix. All you have to do is open up ExpressVPN, click on the India server, and boom, you can now watch some Gojo action on Netflix. Not only that, ExpressVPN does something a little bit extra and protects your data by encrypting your internet connection. No matter how good that hacker is and how smart they may be, they can't break ExpressVPN's encryption in their entire lifetime. Find out how you can get 3 months free by clicking the link in the description below. That's expressvpn.com/ViniTube. Now back to the video. Punching its way into our list is Mash versus Silver from Mashal.
Oh, bro, he was like, my dude went like, bro, he like pushed his face in, like, damn.
Now, this wasn't a fight, but more of a one-sided beatdown.
Ooh.
It was a battle between muscle and magic, and it's safe to say that no matter how good you are with spells, if your enemy was trained by Saitama, then say goodnight. Mash is a brute force warrior who relies on his physical prowess and speed, while Silver's a magic man who utilizes all kinds of spells. Silver is scum, but he was undoubtedly strong. But just one punch from Mash, and he was already backed into a corner. Another punch, and he was on his knees. Mash even asked him if he could take a third hit, and if it wasn't for that monster, he would have been killed on the spot. Silver was utterly humiliated, and even if Mashal's animation style looks like it was straight up from Mob Psycho, they still stylized it really well. To be fair, Silver had it coming. How many people do you know that can make a broom fly just by running like crazy? Harry Potter sure can't.
Yeah. Bro, again with these ads, bruh. Hey, it's some more anime too.
Next up on the list is the new Trigun Stampede, where we see Vash fight it out with Million Knives. A lot of people had negative reviews on this one, especially since it was mainly animated using CGI, but they were proven wrong as the series proved to be one hell of an amazing show. Each fight scene was good, but this one stood out above the rest. The way they animated Million Knives' attacks was on another level. It looked like Vash had no chance of winning, but he proved it wrong by doing the unthinkable. Even just Vash's reload animation was something else. But we have to wait for Season 2 to finally get to the ending. This anime blew my expectations away because of how fluid and dynamic they made the fight scenes. It might feel like a fever dream, but it's definitely worthy of this list.
Oh, Bleach.
Moving on, we have one of the more recent yet equally good fight scenes in 2023. Kenpachi and Gremmy's fight in Bleach 1000 Year Blood War. This fight was a battle of the strongest, with each fighter having their unique abilities. Genpachi has his unbendable will, and he can slice through anything, while Grammy can make anything he imagines into reality. Genpachi wasn't getting bothered by it though, because even when Grammy summoned the might of America and blasted every gun known to man towards Kenpachi, he he still came out undefeated. Their battle was nothing short of legendary, and if it wasn't Kenpachi, anyone else who stood in Gremi's way would have been annihilated. Kenpachi cut space itself, but no matter how wild Gremi's imagination was, he was still defeated because he failed to comprehend Kenpachi's true strength and self-destructed. To this day, a lot of fans still talk about this moment, and rightfully so, because it made it to the top of the best fights in Bleach.
What's your weapon? Anice in Shadow? I don't know how to pronounce it.
Next on our list is the Eminence in Shadow.
Oh,
Sid versus
Eminence.
Iris and Beatrix. This was gender equality at its finest because all of them went all out. Sid, also known as Shadow, was a menace to society before and after he was reincarnated. The scene was badass, and the way Shadow casually made Beatrix struggle made him look more dangerous. Iris was just titled at this point, and even with her overpowered weapon and Beatrix's help, it looked like Shadow was the only one that was having fun. It was a thrilling and blood-boiling fight with each side giving us one hell of a battle. The animation was stunning, especially when Iris attacked. Both Beatrix and Iris were full of rage, and the black, white and red colours as Iris launched her final strike were unique and eye-catching. In the end though, Shadow just stepped on them and made sure they understood their gap in strength. One I am atomic and the fight was over. If you love overly twisted MCs, Shadow might well be your new favourite.
Oh no, not this, bro. Not this. Not this.
Unexpectedly arriving at number 12 is a scene from Boruto when Momoshiki fights Kawaki. Boruto might not be known for its consistency, but there are some moments where you have to acknowledge that it was actually good, and this battle is one of them. After Momoshiki takes control of Boruto, Kawaki steps in to protect Naruto, who's now severely nerfed, along with the others. For some time, Kawaki could stand up against Momoshiki because of his Karma Seal, as well as his training with Naruto, but doesn't last long. They returned the Boruto series to its roots and gave us a classic hand-to-hand fight at the beginning. The animation was also surprisingly good, and the choreography was the one that carried the scene. The moment Boruto's Rasengan was about to strike Kawaki was done well, and it made the biggest impact. Even though there were still alien powers involved, it was refreshing to see that most of the battle was fought in classic shinobi style. Boruto still has a lot of work on, but it might just make a comeback, and manga readers know what I mean.
Dude. Bro, it's so many ads, bro. Oh, Baki. Oh, bro. Dude, this is underrated. I ain't gonna lie.
Up next is Baki versus Yujiro in Baki. Now, Baki did everything, trained as hard as he could, and fought the strongest being in the world just so he could face his father, Yujiro Hanma, the most powerful creature on Earth. The reason why the fight scene between Baki and Yujiro is so awesome is because of its viciousness and intensity. Their blows were so strong that they shook the ground underneath them. It's also impressively choreographed, with the movements blending smoothly into one another. This was the battle that defined the entire series, and even though Baki was strong, he was still being beaten by Yujiro. Both of them were exhilarated, and even as Pickle intervened, Baki forced him to sit down, which was pretty badass. This battle showed us Baki's progress and how strong he's become. It was so over the top that it was far from realistic. What the fuck? But it was no doubt enjoyable. As the fight reached its conclusion, Yujiro acknowledged Baki as the strongest in the world, which is no doubt the best father and son moment in anime.
Father and son love.
Next is a fight from the anime adaptation of the game Nier Automata, the fight between 2B and 9S versus Adam.
I think
was on a roll in trying to
I've seen this one. I think, man, because I recognize
2B and 9S then arrived to fight him in his final
I see like
form,
the cover-ups. Yeah.
Monster. 2B is the waifu we all want, strong and deadly. They were at a disadvantage, and not only did they have Adam to worry about, they also had these cannibal robots. The soundtrack definitely carried this battle because it felt so awesome watching it. The animation was truly
bad,
slice the building in half was completely unexpected. You really have to watch the series to figure out why they're fighting a giant robot monster, and once you figure that out, this is one fight that you don't want to miss. I mean, how often do you see them nuke and use a space laser at an enemy?
Wow.
The ending was sad, emotional, and brutal as 9S forces 2B to end things once and for all.
Record of Ragnarok.
Ripping their way is the third season of Record of Ragnarok, more specifically the fight between Jack the Ripper and Hercules. This was the battle between Ultimate Evil and Ultimate Good. There definitely was some 3D and CGI animation which was better than the PowerPoint presentation we got back in season 1. This fight was just as impactful as the others, and what made this even better was that they used the city of London as a battlefield. As all Record of Ragnarok fights go, it was bloody and you wouldn't really know who came out on top. It looked like Jack was going to be the one who was going to lose, but he did something unexpected. We all know how the fight between them ended, and it was truly emotional. The weird thing is that everyone, even humans, were cheering for Hercules because Jack was just creepy. But the way Jack tricked Hercules and dealt the finishing blow was a sight to see. This was a fight full of twists and turns, and I couldn't have wished for more.
Hell's Paradise.
Now we're in the big leagues because we have Hell's Paradise, the fight between Gabimaru and Zhu Jin. If you thought the Record of Ragnarok fight was brutal, then prepare for this one. In their first exchange, Gabimaru instantly broke Zhu Jin's arm and neck, and if it wasn't for his regeneration, the fight would have already ended right there. Even if Gabimaru burned Zhu Jin to a crisp, he just turned into a guy and fought back. This was a true display of power for Gabimaru too, seeing as we finally get to see how he fares against the Tencent. Even when he was at a complete disadvantage at the beginning, Gabimaru threw his hands with Zhu Jin until he came out on top. This fight was full of visuals, especially when Gabimaru activates his ascetic blaze. This fight definitely stuck with me as I continued the series.
Oh. Vinland Saga. Hey, that was close.
We have Thorfinn versus Snake in Vinland Saga Season 2. So, we're back to some classics now. No special abilities, no ninjutsu, and no monsters. This fight was all about instincts and pure close combat fighting ability. What made this battle even more interesting was the fact that there were no clear villain or hero. We all loved Snake and Thorfinn equally, and it gave it more weight. The animation wasn't over the top, but it was clean and a precise fit for a fight like this one. Not one of them seemed to get the upper hand, although we can argue that Thorfinn was holding back. It was so refreshing to see Thorfinn fight back again after the farming simulator. The fight scene didn't look like it was staged, as if it was in a Hollywood action film. It was rough and made me feel as if I was watching it in real life. Both of them wanted to win. The only difference was Snake was willing to kill.
Yeah, I mean, you cannot win with a sword, bro. Oh, and he got a scar in his face too. Fog Hill of 5 Elements.
Now, this is an entry that you never expected to see. In terms of animation quality and dynamic choreography, this one easily takes the cake. Fog Hill of 5 Elements is known for how good its fight scenes are, with each one easily being included in any list that involves hand-to-hand combat. But what made this exact one stand out is the sound design and the extremeness of the battle. It was fast-paced, heavy-hitting, and very flashy. The way they use different abilities to attack each other also needs a lot of recognition. Shanju proved to be a beast, and even Xuan and Jing had to fight together to bring him down.
They don't like
look like, and if the plot was solid, it might easily become the top anime of the year.
Are you serious about growing on YouTube or not? Then how come you haven't gotten into my free course? I know that you watch my content.
Yeah.
Blades of the Guardians. Oh yeah, this is the one we saw in the beginning.
Blessing us next is another Chinese anime that's so good, I can't believe it's underrated. It's Blade of the Guardians, Daoma versus the double-headed snake versus Changuren. It seems like Chinese anime is showing Japanese anime how to properly animate a fight scene, and in terms of sword fights, this one's top-notch. It started off with Dao and the double-headed snake taking care of Chang and Guren's men, but it quickly turned into a three-way battle that was thrilling to watch. I can't believe how good the way the camera followed their movements was. You still have to get used to the dialogue, but once you're past that, you get an awesome fight. You could truly see that they're not holding back. In the end, Dalmar was the one that survived, and even then, the way he ended Changuren was brutal and satisfying.
Oh man, that is very gory. Black Clover. Oh yeah, I think I heard of that one, yeah.
Moving up, we have Black Clover, Sword of the Wizard King, Asta versus Conrad. Now this movie was full of impressive visuals and great fights between the different magic knights of the Clover Kingdom and the previous Wizard Kings who reincarnated. Some might argue that the Mereoleona versus Princia battle was the best, but in terms of impact and grit, the Asta versus Conrad one does take the top spot. Conrad is undoubtedly one of the strongest Wizard Kings because of his key magic, but any magic is a disadvantage against Asta. The rainbow-colored Conrad versus the black and red Asta was just a feast for our eyes. It looked like Black Clover took Demon Slayer's budget and made up for its inconsistent animation in the previous seasons.
Yeah.
Even when it looked like he could lose, Conrad gave it his all, while Asta unlocked a new power using his new overpowered sword. This battle blew my mind away, because when do we get to see Asta fighting in space?
I'm going to be the Wizard King. Bro, was that the moon that he destroyed? This form. Demon Slayer. Oh yeah, I heard of this one too.
To the top 3 is the fight between Muichiro, the Mist Hashira, and Gyoko, the Upper Moon 5 in Demon Slayer 3. Demon Slayer just keeps serving us one godly animated fight after another. From Rengoku versus Akaza to Tengen versus Gyotaro, and now Muichiro versus Gyoko, and I wish they would give us even more. Just like the rest, the animation here is one of the best in the history of anime. In this battle, it seemed like Muichiro was just about to be defeated when Gyoko used a high IQ move and trapped him in prison. But when he awakened his Demon Slayer mark, the entire confrontation turned upside down. Muichiro's missed attacks were a sight to behold, and the way he decapitated Gyoko's head and sliced his body into thousands of pieces goes to show just how powerful a Demon Slayer can be when the mark is awakened. It was clean, it was impactful, and it was merciless. This was a badass scene that was made better by the fluid movements of the animation.
Oh yeah, Jujutsu Kaisen, bro. I was just talking about this.
Up next is a fight that recently broke the internet. Choso versus Yuji in Jujutsu Kaisen. When it comes to fights, you already know Yuji always puts on a show. From the first time we saw him throw hands with Mahito to his sick battle against Hanami with Todo, there's no doubt Yuji's become a fan favorite for others, and he didn't disappoint in this one too. Mappa's new animation style looks insane, and the choreography in this first fight was amazing. Choso and Yuji use the environment to their advantage, which makes their constant back and forth look more dynamic, like the moment when Yuji used water to encounter Choso's curse technique. The animation and lightning was godly, especially how fluid Choso's blood attacks were. This one-on-one also gave Yuji his iconic scar after Choso gets a hit on him. At the end, however, Choso won by giving Yuji a solid counter-attack. But the fun didn't stop there, because with Choso's flashbacks comes even more surprises. Jujutsu Kaisen is the embodiment of a perfect anime adaptation.
Yep, One Piece. Oh yeah. Another one I heard of.
And finally, the fight that lasted 4 rounds and more than a year. We have Luffy versus Kaido in One Piece. Even if it was long and it took Luffy several tries to beat him, their last round was one of the greatest milestones of the franchise, as we finally got to see Gear 5 in action. If you compile their entire fight with all 4 rounds, it would last more than an hour, which goes to show how much build-up this one scene had. It broke the internet and everyone's expectations, as it was ridiculous and awesome at the same time. You could even see the various stars of the different animators that worked on this battle. There was that sketchy one at the beginning, the Looney Tunes style in the middle, and the classic One Piece animation when Luffy used his Gomu Gomu no Bajran gun to defeat Kaido once and for all. It was a massive attack that was just as big as Onigashima itself. This fight had everything in it. Impact, animation, emotions, relevance to the plot, and even some humor. It's without any argument a 10 out of 10 for everyone. If Oda wasn't just a genius, maybe One Piece could have ended here, but that's definitely not the case. This fight is only an introduction to the end, and Oda definitely has more in store for us.
To be continued. Oh shit.
And that ends our list for the top 20 anime fights in 2023. 2023 was full of amazing battles, but these ones are the best of the best. What anime would you have added? Let us know in the comments below, and maybe we might just include them in our next video. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell for more anime content. See you in the next one.
Old Spice.
Yes, yeah. I mean, so some of the animes that I saw that I didn't know, I think I'm gonna watch those now because now like I'm very, very curious and very interested, man. But anyway, hope you guys like this video. Like, comment, and you know the rest. And I'll see you guys next time. And I'm gone.